Okay. Hello, everyone from Istanbul. My name is Aysegul, and we are gonna do some cooking today. And I know that you expected me to be in the kitchen, and we will move there. But before starting, I just want to show you a beautiful day from Istanbul. Okay, let me just show you from here. I'm in a very nice house today. I had a few unfortunate things, but there's a good side because we have a beautiful view today. Okay. Oh, you see over there, this is the Bosphorus and then the Bosphorus Bridge. I am in the Asian side of Istanbul today. As you know, Istanbul is a unique city that has both European and the Asian side. And across that bridge, this is the European side of the Istanbul. Okay, so people are joining. Hey, Goda. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. It's just a sunny day in Istanbul. Yeah, we're just isolated in our houses, just like everyone else. And actually, there's a different thing in Istanbul in the last few days. There's an official curfew by the government. Well, when the weather is this nice, I think they should do that because people are still gonna go out anyways. Okay, I'm just gonna move us into the kitchen, and I'm gonna introduce you. Okay. Yeah, we have people are joining. Hey, Bianca. Hey, Ikram. Yes. Okay, so I'm sure that some of you already know me, but for the ones who didn't know, my name is Aysegul, and I am a professional chef that is living in Istanbul. I am also one of the hosts of With Locals, and I am quite sure that most of you know about With Locals as well. But for the ones who didn't know, With Locals is a type of platform, online platform that is connecting the locals and the travelers together. So let's say that you're traveling to Paris, Rome, Istanbul. You're just connecting one of us. You're just going online. You pick your tour, or I mean, you just pick your experience, and then you just pick your favorite host, and then we're just meeting you. Make sure you have a good time in Istanbul or wherever you're going. Okay, so hey, Mary. Mary's joining from Detroit, Michigan. Awesome. It must be quite in the morning over there. It's almost like evening in here. Hi, Sierra. Sierra is one of our hosts as well. Okay, who else is here? Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh yeah, we have like other hosts from London as well. Hi, John. I hope to meet you in person one day. Okay, that's good. So I'm just gonna take a few minutes before cooking, and I'm gonna do a little introduction of myself and what we're doing today. Okay, hey Matthew. Matthew's joining from France. Okay, awesome. Hi Nitya. Hi Shrikant. If I'm doing it right, if I'm pronouncing it right. Hey Danielle. Oh, we have someone Turkish. Hey Dawn. Okay, awesome. So again, my name is Aysegul. I am actually in the normal days, like without the viruses going on. I am a professional chef, and in my free time, I'm doing this local walking tours for with locals. I'm basically doing most of the tastings or workshops over there. Uh, my passions are obviously food, eating, cooking, and talking about food. So doing this right now is the same way. You know, we're gonna be talking about food, we're gonna be cooking, and if any of you are doing over there, if any of you are following my recipe as well, we're just gonna be enjoying our food as well. Okay. Oh yeah. Hi Netherlands. We have Luca from Italy, Rome. Hey Luca. Mhm. Wow, we're already 50 people. Okay, so awesome. Okay, so probably most of you already seen, checked it online, like what we're doing, but I wanna summarize a little bit. So today, okay, Matthew, this is where I was coming. Matthew just asked me like, what are we doing today? So yeah, what we're doing today is a dish called menemen. So when you talk about Turkey, probably the first thing that comes to your mind is like either kebabs or anything that is like meat related. Okay, yeah, we eat a lot of meat, but most of the most of the home cooking is evolved around like stuff like veggies, like greens, herbs, that sort of stuff. So I'm gonna be talking a bit more about this, a bit more about like the actual Turkish food. Hey Jamal, it's the first time for him. Hey, welcome. Okay, people are keep going. That's great. Okay, so what we're doing today is a dish called menemen. So I'm sure the people who visited in Istanbul might have tried this. If you ever tried that, please let me know so I can see like who knows about it. I can see who didn't hear about it. You know, like the first timers. Um, so yeah, basically it is a dish that is made of tomatoes. Yeah, we have like beautiful fresh tomatoes over here. We have some like chilies, green chilies. Okay, we have some red chilies as well. And we're gonna use some eggs as well. So the main ingredients of this dish is just tomatoes, some peppers, some eggs. This is a very like simple dish actually, very typical for Turkish cooking. But obviously, like every simple thing is like can be like improved. So I will just show you all of these like little I will just show you all these like little tips on how to make the best menemen. Because if you ever visit in Istanbul, you will find this type of dish everywhere. But everywhere is not gonna have exactly the same taste. So there are some like tips to make it perfectly. Okay, some people already tried it. Yes. Okay, so this is a dish that we eat typically for breakfast. Golda just mentioned about it. So yeah, typically menemen is eaten in breakfast. So eggs are super good for breakfast. But it doesn't have to be a breakfast food, obviously. Sometimes we have it for like the lunch as well, for dinner. Well, it's around 7 p.m. in here, so it's gonna be a little dinner for me. And yeah, like when you make it into a dinner, there are some like different ways to make it. And if it's a breakfast, there is a different ways to make it as well. And I'm gonna be telling you all about it as well. Okay. I think we can just, if everyone is ready, we can start cooking. But okay, so we are about 51 person right now. Is there anyone else who is gonna be cooking with me? Is there anyone out there who has the ingredients like I am and like who's gonna be like following the recipe? Just let me know. Keep sending the comments. Mm-hmm. Okay. So while I'm cooking, please go ahead and ask your questions into the comments, and I will be answering while I'm cooking. And if I just miss something, I will answer all the questions in the end of the session as well. So please go ahead, don't be shy, send all your questions. and we can make it into something interactive this way, yeah? Okay, so I just want to start with some of what showing you my ingredients. So I have some onion here. You can use just like shallots or just like white onion, just like red onion. Anything is fine. When it comes to making menemen, onions are a little bit of a question in everyone's mind. You know, like if you ever in here and ask a Turkish person, like, do you add onion in your menemen? This is a question because people are just like everyone has a way. You know, this is an argument that people are always like doing. So I like my menemen with some onion. I'm sure the people who doesn't like onion are gonna be mad at me. But well, it is almost like a afternoon, so it's gonna be a dinner. So usually, like when you make menemen for dinner, you just add some onion. If it's for the breakfast, you don't add any onion. This is what like what people are thinking most of the time. So I'm gonna have some onion. I'm gonna use about like half of these, like only a little bit of it. So what I have over here is for 2 people. So if you want to make it for more, you can just like double the recipe. I'm gonna be using like half an onion for 2 people. I'm gonna be using one of these green chilies, one of these red chilies, and I will be using like all of these tomatoes. So this is just like a fresh summer tomatoes. It smells amazing. Okay, and I have some of these like herbs. I have some fresh parsley over here. Parsley is very typical in Turkish food. You have like parsley in your salads, in your food, in your pasta. Parsley goes everywhere. And I have this like beautiful watercress. The typical menemen doesn't have any watercress, but I think it will be nice for the decoration in the end. So anything green is gonna be good. And I'm gonna use some cheese on top of it as well. It's in the fridge right now, but I will add it in the end. And like I told you before, I have some eggs over here. And for the spices, it's very simple. I have just some salt and pepper over here, just like black pepper. I'm not much of a spicy like tooth. Like I can't really eat a lot of spice food. But if you like spicy, you can add some like paprika powder into it. This is what people like to do as well. So yeah, this is it. This is just like very simple. Only when I'm starting to cook, I'm gonna add some. Okay, I'm gonna add some olive oil. Yeah, Mary just asked me like, if my peppers are chili or not. Like none of these are hot, but if you like some hot taste, you can just go ahead and add it. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna dice our onion. We're gonna be like very slowly, very small pieces into, yeah, dice our peppers as well. And I will just do the same for the tomatoes, and then we will start cooking. And after the menemen, we're gonna make some apple tea as well. But I'm gonna tell you about it a little later. Okay, so I'm starting with slicing my onion. I'm using just white onion for this. Okay. So yeah, like I told you, menemen is like a very typical food that we eat for the breakfast. But obviously, this is not the only thing. Okay. I'm saying that because, okay, awesome. I'm saying that because I'm sure the ones who try the Turkish breakfast in here knows what I'm talking about. Like when you are talking about the Turkish breakfast, it's like a bunch of food on your table. You have different cheeses. You have like maybe 3, 4 different cheeses. We eat olives for the breakfast. Most of my guests from like most of my friends from other countries are finding this weird, you know, like eating olives for the breakfast. Yeah, we eat olives for the breakfast. We eat cucumbers. You have tomatoes. You have some grilled veggies. We have some type of like sausages that we use only for the breakfast as well. Like especially like obviously we have some stuff like salami or like like deli meats, let's say. But we have something that is very Turkish, which is called sucuk. Oh yeah, I was just talking about it. Hey Sherif, welcome. I was just talking about it. So yes, sucuk. So sucuk is basically just, let's say you can just make it in your house as well. It is like awesome. I love it. It's very garlicky. Garlic makes everything better. It's very spicy. It's made out of beef. Well, most of the like meat products are just made out of beef, because obviously like it's a Muslim country, so finding the pork products is not very common. Okay, so we're slicing, like dicing our onion into small cubes. I'm gonna show you once I'm done. So like the smaller is better at this point. If you don't want to add the onion, it's okay. You can just skip that step. Like I told you, like onions are a very base ingredient of any type of Turkish food actually. Turkish people knows what I'm talking about, but yeah, I think it makes everything much better. Okay. So I have my onions over here. I'm gonna start dicing my peppers. So this is a bit more thinner than this one. So I'm gonna be like cutting this into about like 4 pieces and then start dicing. But this one, I'm gonna just make like little circles. It's gonna be like small enough. It will be a appropriate like size, and it will look cute onto the dish as well, like little circles. So yes, we're gonna be cutting these circles. Okay. Okay, so we have some new people. Hey, Canada. Hey, Jody. Welcome. Yeah, I've never been in Canada, but like thanks to these like the local stores, I met a lot of people from Canada. I really want to visit there someday. Hey, Valerie. Hey, Venice. Well, today we have also people from Italy. Okay. So I think we're gonna see what it looks like by the end of it, like what Menemen looks like, because it's hard to describe. Like technically it's like a scrambled egg dish, but it doesn't look like scrambled egg dish in the end because of all the tomato sauce, all the peppers and everything. But technically it's a scrambled egg dish. We're just gonna be cooking our tomato sauce with onions and with peppers, and then we will scramble our eggs inside. Okay. Peppers are also done. Like we are lucky because it's almost summer, and like at this time of the year, I don't know what it's like over there in your country, but at this time of the year you can find the freshest vegetables over here. So like I told you, I have like one of the best tomatoes over here. I have like really good peppers over here. That's another reason I picked to make this dish actually. Okay. So yeah, peppers are also done. Okay. So I'm all done with the onions and I'm all done with the peppers. So I'm just gonna start dicing my tomatoes. But before starting this, the onions are gonna take a little time to cook. So I'm just gonna let these guys set in the pan on the stove. It's gonna start cooking like very slowly. And in the meantime, I'm just gonna start dicing my tomatoes. This is gonna give us a little bit more time So yeah, I'm just gonna show you my pen as well. So I just want to show you this. This is a very typical Turkish style of pen. It's called sahan. So yeah, it is basically like made out of copper. I thought like if we're making Turkish food, we should make it all the way Turkish. So this is a very typical Turkish pen. Like I told you, it's made out of copper and the material is quite thin. This is basically like letting us the heat to distribute very evenly. So what I'm doing here, I'm gonna add some olive oil. So like only enough to cover the bottom of your pen for about 2 to 3 tablespoons. Okay. So I'm just gonna heat the pan a little bit and then add the onions inside. I'll show you how I do. Okay. Let's just move it into the stove. Okay. Okay. I'm finding a little trouble to stable the camera. Okay, awesome. It works now. So the heat should be about medium. Okay. So I put my pan on the stove and I have on like medium heat over here. And I'm just gonna add my onions. See, let me just show you the size. It's quite small. This is what you wanna have. So I'm just like adding my own onions over here. And I'm just gonna give it a little stir over here and let them cook over here by itself. And in the meantime, I'm gonna start dicing my tomatoes. Okay. Okay, great. So at this point, my tomatoes are quite fresh, like I told you. So I might just like remove the skin, or I can just keep it as well. Depends on how you like. Like I don't really mind the skin, but yeah, I think I'm just gonna like peel half of it and keep the remaining. So it depends on how you like. If you like the skin, you can just keep it. It's actually good for your body. It's just like an extra nutrition. My onion is sizzling a little. It's good. It started to smell. Okay. Oh wow, we have lots of viewers. Awesome. So yeah, I think we have over here. So I just want to back up a little and remind the people like what we're doing. We are cooking in Istanbul today. We are cooking menemen. And well, menemen is a typical dish that we eat especially for the breakfast, but other than this, any time of the day, it is basically just tomatoes, peppers, made into a kind of sauce and scrambled eggs inside. Okay, so I have 2 of these peeled, 2 of these are not peeled, so it's gonna give a nice like balance in my mouth. You can just keep all the skin or just like peel off all the skin. It's up to you. So I'm gonna slice these into like very small cubes. So this is also what makes the difference actually. The tomatoes can be like either diced into little cubes or just like grind it. If you have like a blender, you can use a blender. But I think what makes this like much better is like slice into little cubes. This is gonna just keep a little like texture in my mouth. It's not gonna be all mashed up. Okay. Okay, my onion smells awesome. I'm just gonna go and check. Okay, I'm just gonna slice. I'm just basically just shaking my pan a little. And okay, onion is like very slowly cooking right now. This is good. We don't want to burn it, but we don't want to keep it like, I don't know. We don't want to keep it like hard on your mouth. We don't want to do that. Okay. Thank you, Mary. Mary's impressed for my knife skills. Thanks. I like that. Thanks. So yeah, like I told you, onions are important. It's nice to like have a little eye on your onions because you don't want to burn it. Like if you like a little bit of caramel taste, you can burn it a little. Like in the professional kitchens, well, like as chefs, of course, we are making some mistakes as well. So you can sometimes burn some stuff, or you can just like undercook some stuff. But in the professional kitchens, we never say like make mistakes. You know, if it's like burnt, people are saying, "Yeah, I caramelized it a little bit," you know. Or if you're like tasting everything a little bit too much, like eating a lot, maybe like finishing the customer's food, you don't say like I finished it. You just say like I tasted it. This is, I think, a bit more of like a chef's arrogance. Okay, so the tomatoes are also done, almost. So I'm keeping these into like this little bowl, so it will be easy to just transfer it in our pan. So you can do the same. Okay, great. So yeah, after we are all done with this, like cooking the menemen and everything, we're gonna make some apple tea as well. So like most of the time, we like in Turkey, we drink a lot of tea, right? Like Turkish people are known by its coffee. The Turkish coffee is quite popular, and it is supposed to be very popular. I like Turkish coffee a lot, but when you're here, you're gonna see lots of tea. Lots of people drinking a lot of tea. Okay, I'm just gonna check my onions a little bit. Okay, so I think my onions are quite done. I'm just gonna add my peppers over here, and then give it a little shake. And I'm gonna put this back on the stove and let the peppers cook very slowly as well. I'm just giving a little stir. Okay. Great. It looks really nice with all the colors actually. Like you have a little bit of onion white, you have a little bit of colors from the peppers. It's great. Okay, so I am all done with tomatoes. Awesome. So like on this live show, I want to see like some like familiar faces, which I have seen some of them, and I actually want to see some of the new faces as well, because you know like because of this like virus situation, we are not able to do any of these tours, and I've been doing this for about like 2 years right now, and like we were just out there, we're just like walking around like every day. We're out in the, like the beautiful city in the best places, the places like the tourists are going. So we're just there, not being tourists, and it's great. And like out of nowhere, we're just like locked up in our houses, and it is making it a little hard. Okay, I'm just stirring my peppers a little. But yeah, like basically we're just, I'm sure it is the same for like all the travelers or all the hosts, all the like the travel guides, you know. Um, it is just like we're so used to meeting new people from like all over the world and just like sharing the culture and everything. So it's just nice to do this. You know, you're just like still seeing, you're just still interacting with people. This is what we're trying to do on this new like experiences as well. So yeah, Mary just asked me if we're adding any salt to onions and peppers. You can have a little bit of a like pinch of the salt, but I would like to add it in the end to see like how the taste is gonna be like how the taste is gonna be like in the end because we're gonna add the tomatoes as well. Okay, so we're all done with our slicings. So I'm just gonna go check how the onions and the peppers are doing. Okay, you see, it looks awesome with all the colors and everything. I think the peppers are also almost done. I'm just gonna turn up the heat just a little bit more. Okay, just give it a shake. Okay, I think it's almost done, so I'm just gonna start adding my tomatoes in it. So yeah, here is all my tomatoes. I used about like 4 small tomatoes, but like if you like more of like the egg taste, you can just like keep the tomatoes a little bit less and add more eggs. Okay, tomatoes goes inside. I'm giving a little shake. Actually, I think this is easier, right? Okay. So at this point, I'm just gonna add some salt and pepper. So here's another trick. I'm adding some salt. So I have some salt over here. I have some black pepper over here. I'm adding for about like a generous pinch of salt. Maybe 2 generous pinch of salt. Then a little less. I'm adding another pinch of pepper over here. So here's the tip. This applies for menemen and also anything else that has a bunch of tomatoes inside. So tomatoes has like natural acid inside, right? And usually like when you make a dish that has some tomatoes or tomato paste, you have a little weird acidic, like kind of like a lemon taste inside of your like mouth. So to avoid this, I'm just adding like a little cube of sugar. Like these little cube of sugars are very typical in Turkey. I don't know if it's a thing over there. Just let me know if it is. You can just like add a nice pinch of sugar as well, and just like adding it inside. This is gonna give a nice balance with the tomato acid. Okay, great. So I'm just gonna give a nice shake over here. I'm gonna turn up the heat a little bit more as well. Okay, and so we don't wanna make it into a rush, right? Okay, so when in Turkey, you just take things slow. So you cook slow, you just eat slow. If you wanna have a Turkish coffee, you have it slow. So for this, okay. So for this, I'm gonna keep the tomatoes over there, cook it very slowly. Like this is the last phase of the cooking anyways. After that, I'm just gonna add my like eggs over there. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna start making the apple tea. So we can just like finish both of these at the same time. Okay, so I'm just gonna clean my counter. I sliced some tomatoes and onions in here, so it's not very nice to like add some apples over there. I'm just gonna flip it. This is the cleaner side. This saves me doing lots of washing. Sheriff just asked me, do you also put a cube of sugar on dishes that are made with tomato juice? You can do that if it's a natural tomato juice. Yes, you can do that. Cause like I told you, natural tomato has some like natural acid inside. But if it's something I don't know, something that's like a fabric made or whatever, maybe they're just like balancing the acidity inside. You must just check the ingredients just in case. Make sure there's no additional sugar, and then you can just add some sugar. Okay, so we are making some apple tea. Oops. Okay, we're gonna need something like this. This is like a little saucepan. If you have some kind of teapot, you can use that as well. What we're gonna be making, basically, we're gonna add all our ingredients. So for this, I'm gonna use like one whole apple. This is just like a red up apple, but like green apple, just like sweet or sour, doesn't matter. Any type of apple is gonna be good. And I have some like tomato. I'm sorry, I have some like orange over here, and I'm gonna use like a little peel of it, not the orange itself, but the peel of the orange. And we have some of these beautiful spices. So I have some powdered cinnamon. I like that. We have some like whole cloves. So this is what it looks like if you don't know what it is. I know that some people are not very familiar with this, right? So yeah, this is what it looks like. These are basically like giving this like nice flavors into this like sweet dishes. So like I like to say these like pumpkin spice type of things, or like apple pie spices. So like sweet spices that gives like nice nutrition, and because they're really healthy as well, and also very nice tasting to the dishes as well. Okay, before starting, I just want to go and check my tomatoes, giving it a little shake. Okay, it looks nice. Okay, it is cooking very nicely. Okay, hey Vanessa. Oh wow, Vanessa is joining from Panama. Awesome. Hey, welcome. Okay, yeah, we definitely have some new people over here. So I'm gonna start making the apple tea. I'm gonna basically just like slice my apple. You don't have to make very equal slices, because we're not gonna have the actual apple inside of our like cup. We're just gonna be like boiling it. But you can just like go ahead and then just like slice it however you want. You don't have to really like peel the skin as well. Just randomly, however you like. So I like to take it from these like four sides. Hey, awesome. So yes, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about this tea. So I was telling that the tea is very popular in Istanbul, right? Okay, we drink a lot of tea. When you're here, you will go to these like food markets that is like a billions of shops. Okay, not billions, but you know, okay, at least like hundreds of shops that is only selling like so many types of tea. But when you talk about the Turkish tea, it is mostly just black tea that is brewed a little longer, like very strong black tea. Okay, I'm just like slicing it into smaller pieces. But you can slice it however you like. Okay. Yeah, when you talk about the Turkish tea, it is basically just black tea. You see this much more often. It is quite strong. You can add some sugar inside, but no milk whatsoever. No milk in your tea in Istanbul. I'm sorry. But the sugar is okay. So I'm taking my tomatoes, giving it a little stir. Okay, it looks good. It's almost done. But yeah, we also have this like pomegranate tea, some mint tea, and another thing is this apple tea. So I wouldn't say like I'm having apple tea every day, not really, but this is very popular in here. Like as a Turkish person, I like my caffeine, right? Like because I'm drinking a lot of Turkish coffee, I need some like caffeine in my drink. So I like apple tea or like any type of green tea, but black tea is what I prefer. And I think this is what everyone's preferring in here as well. You see a lot. But I think like for the tourists who are visiting in Istanbul, they're not very used to drinking this much of tea because I don't know, average person, like my mom, she's probably drinking like 20 cups of black tea every day, every single day. This is like an addiction. But yeah, like I told you, I think the tourists who are coming in here, they're not very used to that. So they were served this apple tea instead of the black tea. So they can still have some tea. And well, obviously it worked because all of my guests who are in here and tried the apple tea, they just love it. That's why we're making this apple tea today. I mean, it is quite nice. It tastes very nice. It is very nutritious because you have the fresh apples over here. You have some citrus. You have all these spices. And yeah, Golda just asked me if we're having this hot or cold. We are having this hot. Like most of the time, you have this hot. I never seen any apple tea just like hot, just like cold. But like if you ask me, it could be easily made like an iced tea. You just make it this way. You just like keep the leftover, keep it in the fridge, and a few pieces of ice. Here you go. You have some apple tea, but cold, iced apple tea. Okay, so for this, I'm just gonna have a little peel. You can just use your peeler, or you can just use your knife. So I'm basically gonna be randomly having a peel of it. Just something like this is gonna be working. Just like this. It's gonna give a nice flavor into it. Okay, so we have a nice question. Before answering that, I'm gonna go check the tomato. Make sure it doesn't burn. It has a nice texture. Okay, it's almost done. Perfect. Yes, I think like making the apple tea into like a iced tea is like a great idea, especially at this time of the year. You know, it just starts to get a little like warm as well. It sounds perfect. Okay, yeah. So I just got a question that says, "Is the apple tea in Grand Bazaar is real? Would you recommend to drink it there?" So this is a good question. So Grand Bazaar, for the ones who doesn't know about this, for the ones who never been in Istanbul, Grand Bazaar is like huge closed market, let's say, that is full of all these like little shops. You can find like some food shops over there, some like little coffee shops. You can find some like pottery shops. It's kind of like a souvenir place, let's say. And the shop owners over there, I think this is interesting because the shop owners over there has been doing this like over generations. So maybe like 5, 6 generations, they've been there for a long time. So you actually see like very base of Turkish people over there. Okay, awesome. So when it comes to apple tea in Grand Bazaar, this is kind of sad because, well, Grand Bazaar is unfortunately these days quite touristic, right? So all these like shop owners, they are very authentic, but they know how to do a little scam sometimes. So, well, before going there, if you know all these scams, that's fine. But these guys, unfortunately, instead of making this actual apple tea from the fresh apples and everything, they have this like powdered juicy thing that they just mix it with some hot water. and they just call it apple tea. Well, it's not really apple tea. It's kind of like a apple juice. I mean, it tastes nice, but it's not really apple tea. So, no, not really. I wouldn't recommend that. If you should only have apple tea if you see the actual apple inside, right? You don't. You should just see the actual apple inside. Okay, so I have all this stuff over here. I'm just gonna have like a nice pinch of powdered cinnamon over here. If you have any cinnamon stick, it's also good. Go ahead, it's better. Unfortunately, we are locked up, so I don't have all the ingredients in the perfect way. But we should know how to adapt, right? So I'm having some cinnamon. I'm adding some cloves over here. And in the meantime, to fasten the process, I'm gonna boil up some water. You can just, if you have time, you can just add some like cold water as well. It's so fine. You can just let this boil inside, but I'm just gonna boil it over there. And in the meantime, I'm just gonna go check my tomatoes, right? Okay, great. Okay, so I'm just gonna check the comments in the meantime. Oh, thanks, Tom. Well, it's not actually my kitchen right now, but I'm gonna come to that. So yeah, Sheriff, I am like, this is gonna make about like 4 cups of tea. So I'm just adding maybe like 3 cloves. But it depends on how you like. You can just skip the cloves if you don't like the taste. You can just add some like cardamom as well, whatever you like. Any type of like this nice, like warm type of like warm feeling spices are gonna be good. But like I told you, I'm only adding like about 3 cloves of cloves. So okay, yeah. So yeah, it is funny, but like I told you, we are in a little bit of a different situation right now. We are not able to go outside, and like I had a bit of a problem. Like for some reason, just before this curfew, I got my fridge broken, and I had to come to a friend's house in an emergency. So I had to adapt all this stuff, but I'm going to like the setting. Okay, so I'm just gonna move you back to the stove because we're all done with this like cutting process, right? I'm just gonna move us to the stove and let the cooking process over there. Okay, let me just show you my tomatoes. So tomato is cooked very slowly inside, see? It is still a little juicy, so you don't want to let all the juice to go. It's supposed to be a little juicy because we're gonna dip our bread inside and we want the bread to soak the juice super well. Okay. This is keep on going. And in the meantime, I'm just gonna add my apple tea on stove as well. Okay, great. So yeah, have anyone who is over here right now. We have about still 46 people. Thank you all for coming. It's actually very nice to hear. And I'm just wondering if any of you ever been in Istanbul, ever tried this apple tea or just Menemen dish before? And did you like it? This is the actual question, actually. Did you like it? Okay. So I'm just gonna settle my camera. Awesome. So we are turning up the heat for the apple tea as well. So at this point, what we're gonna do is we're basically just gonna, we have all the ingredients over here. We're just basically gonna add the water, let it like simmer here for about a few minutes, and it will be all done. And our menemen is just about to be done. I think it is time to add the eggs inside. So I still have this cup over here. Hey, Kuya, welcome. Okay, so let me just explain you what we're doing in the meantime, because obviously we have some new people over here. I don't want anyone to miss anything. So we are in Istanbul and we are cooking some menemen and apple tea. So I think it will be like a breakfast for you, but it is about 8 p.m. over here, so it will be a dinner dish for me. But typically we eat this for breakfast. And we have, like in the breakfast, we have lots of tea in here. Okay. Hey, Linus. Oh, I hope to see you here soon. Okay, my water is done. I'm just gonna add my water inside. It is nice and boiling. I am adding all my water. Almost like this, not much. Okay. It's nice. It smells amazing. You can smell the cloves and then the cinnamon, all the citrus taste. It's amazing. So it's time for the last step. We have nice eggs over here. I'm just gonna cut this, crack this into this like little bowl. If you want, you can just scramble inside the bowl as well. I'm just like cracking over here. And well, before doing this, I was just forgetting about this. Before adding the eggs, make sure you taste like everything, whatever you cook. Before the last step, make sure you taste. So I'm just gonna taste if the salt and the pepper is good. Smells good. I think it just needs like a little bit more salt. But like I told you, you don't have any of these like acid taste, which is very good. This is what we want to have. Okay, I'm giving it a little stir. And we are in the last step. So I'm just gonna add my eggs over here. One over here, one over here. And for the eggs, I'm adding just a little bit more salt over here as well. Just a little over here, a little bit more over here. And just randomly, I'm just gonna be giving it a little scramble. This is where the scramble is going on. Just into it. Okay. Looks good. My apple tea over here is nice and boiling. If anyone's out there who is making the tea with me knows what it smells like. Okay. So I'm not just like keep scrambling it. I'm just gonna let this cook over here. I'm gonna turn up the heat a little bit more. This is just gonna start cooking by itself. I'm not touching anything. It's just gonna go ahead and cook it. And in like 5 minutes, it will be all down. We don't want to like cook it all the way. We don't want to like keep it like super like stiff. We want to keep it a little juicy, like I told you before. Because we eat a lot of bread over here. Like, okay, if you're a vegetarian or if you're a vegan, you can survive in here super easy. But if you're a gluten-free, it's a little hard, you know, because, well, Turkish people, we like our bread. Hey, Mary. Yeah? Well, some people, like Mary's instructor, like the Turkish breakfast. Well, it is really my favorite time to eat, actually. Okay. Egg is doing perfect. Menemen is doing perfect. Apple tea, it has been boiling for a few minutes. I'm gonna like turn off the heat over here right now. Okay. So, see, you can see some of the egg is cooking right now. What I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna turn off the heat and let this cook by itself into its heat. And in the meantime, I'm just gonna do a little garnish. I'm just gonna slice a little garnish to decorate, because, well, the taste is important, but the presentation is equally important. This is what is gonna feed your eyes, right? Okay, so it's gonna, awesome. So for the decoration, like I told you, I have some fresh herbs over there. I'm gonna I'm gonna slice it into small pieces. I have some cheese over there. Let me just go and get it. Okay. So I am using it's called white cheese. Yeah, so for the tea, I didn't really specify any amount of water. There are only 2 people in here, so I think we will have maybe 2 cups. But I would let's say for 1 apple, for this type of ingredient, this amount of ingredients, I will use about maybe half a liter water, or a 1 liter, depends on your taste. Okay, so yes, for the decoration, I'm gonna crumble some cheese on top of it, top of the menemen, and I'm gonna slice some herbs, fresh herbs as well. So yes, I have nice watercress over here. I have some parsley. I'm just gonna slice parsley super small. This part is a little bit more optional as well, but I think with this green, I'm sorry, with this red dish, there's some little bit of green, little bit of white. It looks nice, you know. It brings a nice contrast. Okay, awesome. So I'm just gonna keep my cheese over there, and I also want to do something for my apple tea. Maybe little slices of this, fresh apple, thin slices. It will be nice on my cup. Okay, maybe just a little bit of this. Okay, awesome. Great. Okay, I think we're ready. I'm just gonna go get my menemen, make the decoration, and I'm just gonna get my tea over there, and we can just go to the other room and serve everything and taste everything. Okay, my menemen is nice and set. See? Awesome. You can see all the eggs is cooked inside. So I'm just gonna sprinkle some of this nice green herbs on it. So I'm gonna use a little bit of hand. Don't be shy. I'm just gonna crumble on it a little. Wow, it looks nice. So any type of cheese is good at this point. This cheese that I'm using is very unsalted cheese. So you can, if you're using a bit more salted cheese, you can just add less salt on the menemen as well. Okay. And I have this beautiful watercress. It's a little bigger than what you have in probably in US or in Europe. See, it's a bit more bigger, but it has kind of a flower look. Yeah, I think it makes a nice decoration. So I'm just gonna put some over there as well. Okay. Okay, so I'm just gonna go get my apple tea over here as well. Which looks nice. So I'm just gonna serve these on my tray, and we will move into the other room. Okay. Oh. So I hope everyone who was doing this with me did well as well. I hope you all had good results as I am. Because I'm quite happy with my results right now. Okay, yardım eder misin? Okay, my friend's gonna help me. And he's gonna bring our food over here as well. Okay. Let's taste. It's time to taste. We're gonna serve our tea and we're gonna be tasting over here as well. Okay, that's okay. I think you can see me well right now. That's great. Okay, let's just keep it over there. Great. Okay, so we have everything in here. It looks like a full Turkish breakfast. Okay, let me just show you. I'll just turn off the light. Awesome. So this is a nice menemen. We have nice red color of the tomatoes. We have the eggs. We have nice like green over here. Okay, I'll just show you from here. It looks nice, right? Trust me, it also tastes nice. Okay. So we have some nice apple tea over here. I'm just gonna serve it on my cups as well. Okay. Make sure you don't have most of the apples on it. Okay. And for this, I'm just gonna decorate it with some of these like grapefruit, maybe some of these like apples. And let me just show you this as well. Okay, so I have my apple tea in here. It smells amazing. You're gonna ask like what she's showing, you know, like what kind of cup is it? Well, I should have probably just explained it before. This is what we drink the tea from. This like little cups. Like I told you, like my mom drinks like 15 to 20 cups of tea, but this type of cup, you know, it's still a lot to drink it in one day, but it's like little. We call that tiny waisted cups because it has like a little like tinier part over here, and we have all our tea on these cups as well. Okay, I'm just gonna taste it. I have to because it smells very nice. Nice. So I don't like any like additional sugar on my tea, but if you like any honey or if you like any type of like sugar, go ahead and add it. But I think our apple and our orange has this natural sugar itself, so it's quite sweet anyway. Okay, great. So I'm just gonna taste my menemen a little. I just want to show you this as well. Like I told you, we eat a lot of bread, and I have some like typical bread over here as well. This is like this little circle bread is called simit. I am pretty sure everyone who have been in Istanbul already tried it because it is super typical. You go out, you see it in the street, you see it in the bakeries, you have it in the breakfast, you have it in the lunch. It's everywhere. But it is basically just this like crunchy sesame seed covered like bread. Okay, so I'm just gonna have a little piece. I will basically dip it. This is what we do. Like you don't like in Turkey when you have a food, you have it like on the table in the middle, and everyone has a little share with their bread. So I'm dipping it, putting my bread inside. It smells nice. Mm. It's good. Mm. Here you go. And a little sip of the tea. Mm. Okay. So we are still quite crowded over here. I am very thankful to the people who watched it and the ones who cooked it with me. It was very fun for me. I hope it was fun for you as well. If you like it, leave a comment. And if you want to see more of these type of live shows, because they will keep coming, You can just turn on your notifications and see what with locals is offering. Also, like in on with locals, there's this live experience, and you can just find me over there. Maybe you can just book a private tour if you want. You can make some of these type of breads with me, or whatever you want. So if you want to do that, you can just find me over there and contact me. Okay, afiyet olsun. This means bon appetit. I hope you enjoyed it. Okay, I'm just gonna go now. Bye bye.